There you go. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Susan Davis. As some of you know me. I am the founder of the CoCreation community. And that's where we help you develop an online presence so that your creative endeavor or purposeful business is seen and your voice heard, and that results in more visibility, influence, and abundance flowing to you with ease and grace. And I'm really excited about today. I'll tell you a little story first, and you'll maybe see why. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Susie, and she loved to dance. And she danced and danced and danced. Her mom signed her up for ballet lessons when she was 4 or 5, and she took ballet for 20 years. Class all the time, loved it. She also took other kinds of dance classes. And then after 20 years, when she was in college, the classes slowed down, but she still loved to dance, and she loved to dance, go out dancing. And she'd met her partner in college, and he loved to dance too. And so they danced together, but it wasn't ballet and it wasn't class. In her 30s, after having her children, she tried to go back to class, but all the people in the class were maybe teens or 20s, and they were skinny, and she wasn't anymore because she'd had babies. And she felt really kind of out of it because she didn't have the ballet body anymore. And that was an obstacle. And so she didn't go to class, and she didn't do ballet. All the time longing for ballet. In her 60s, she vowed, I'm going to find a ballet class for old fat ladies where there won't be any young, thin ballet dancers in the class. But none turned up. She tried a few, but just didn't do it. Then, not that long ago, maybe a month ago, she met someone who had exactly what she wanted. And she was really, really a fun person, which is critical for Susie to have for a teacher as well as a friend and somebody to hang with. And so that is how I met Linda. I met Linda actually on Mimi's group on Facebook. So yay, Facebook, yay, groups and social media. And that's how I met Linda DeNike. And I am so glad I did, because I think we're all really going to have fun today, and you're going to see why I am excited about meeting Linda. Some of you have known Linda for a while, and I bet that you have wonderful stories to tell about those years that you've been able to play with her. So let's see. I think I have one more person to let in. There we go. And that's Muriel. Hi, Stephanie. Do you have a question?
Just a quick, I don't know if you guys can, I have dry rot on the back of my house and the guy's hammering and pulling stuff off. I don't know if you can
Can't hear it. No.
No. Can anybody else hear it?
No.
I don't know, because I'll put my earbuds in.
Yeah, and we can hear you fine, so that's good. So I'm gonna break everybody into a breakout room right away. And this way you'll be with one other person. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's good. We've got 10, not counting me. And that means 2 in each breakout room. And what I would like you to do when you get into this really super early on breakout room is it's an introduction. And I've always found that if you can talk with one person, you can make a connection. And so I really, really encourage you to connect with this person. And I have some questions that I would like you to ponder and talk about with each other. You'll have about 5 minutes apiece to do this introduction thing. So I want you to share with your partner about your own creative expression, whatever that is. If you're an artist, a writer, a photographer, a musician, an actor, a dancer, an engineer, an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. Whatever you are, share that with the other person. And maybe share what you're working on right now and why that lights you up. And if you have any challenges. And also share how you feel right now, today, about your body. What is your relationship with your physical self, as well as any thoughts you might have about age or aging and this time of your life in regards to what you do and what you love to do. Okay, so you kind of got an idea of what to chat with each other about. Let me do the breakout back. The wonders of Zoom. We're zooming everybody in.
I think Muriel had a good time. She's like,
Okay,
let's see,
like
we
we've
need
got
one.
Dee and
We don't
Louise are
Yes,
gonna zap in.
look me over here.
You have everybody.
Okay.
Okay, now back. Go close up that. Great. Well, I hope you all connected with the person or people that you were with. And I totally 100% encourage you to follow up with those people, connect with them later. I would love you to share, anybody who wants to share their contact information in the chat. I will be sure to put it out with a follow-up email. And I really think it's important to try to connect with each other afterward, because you all are so cool. You're all doing such amazing, wonderful things that you should know each other and support each other and play with each other. So now that we're all back, let's see, maybe put hers in there. I'm going to pull up my chat just so that I have it there so I can kind of try to watch it. Always challenging watching 20 million things, but I will. So so that's great. I'm really
Susan, I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Are you gonna, did you say you were gonna send a list like of names with emails, or do we have?
Afterward, I'll follow up with with a follow-up email, and it will have the recording of this session, as well as all of the emails that people share in the chat and anything else they share in the chat that they want me to put out to everyone. And it's not just to the people who showed up on screen. There are other people who are not here who want to get this as well. And I want to share it with everybody. So if you want to be shared, then put your good stuff in there and I'm happy to share it. So I want to now kind of formally, I can't even say that word. I want to introduce Linda. And then I'm going to kind of turn this over to her. And she's going to talk to you about what she does and how she does it. And then we're going to have a little session where we get to play. So Linda DeNike,
DeNike,
Man.
let me chop that E off the end there. Yeah,
No E on it. DeNike.
DeNike.
DeNike. Thank you. I have to tell you a funny story. I used to do radio, and we would always write out phonetically people's names so that we got them correct. And I didn't do this once, and had somebody on my show whose last name was, now I can't even remember what it was. Anyway, it was an Asian last name, and I did not phonetically write it out, and I mispronounced it during the whole thing. And it was only afterward that I realized I totally mangled his name. I was so embarrassed, and he was some big Silicon Valley bigwig, and I thought, oh, Susan, you just really blew it. So thank you for correcting me. I really appreciate that. Okay,
I
so
know I'm the teacher, you know?
well, good. So I don't even know if I need to go through all of this wonderful stuff that Linda is and does, but I was impressed, and she is a certified, or what is it called? The CH. What, Linda, is CH?
Look at too. It's either a hypnotherapist or a consulting hypnotist. And they're keeping both of those flexible, fluxing through the industry, so to speak. A lot of work to keep that all in a legit space so it doesn't get hammered. And so CH is what I use. And it's consulting hypnotist. I do that because, yeah, because I'm more of a teacher. So understanding that space, how you go into it naturally all day long. So there's less fear of it. There's stigma around it. That is part of what I help to kind of steer the mind to understand. But that's that's part of it. Part of the big picture.
And then there's the consciousness coach part of it, which is other really cool stuff. And so kind of expand a little bit on what that is.
Consciousness. I mean, we're always riding at a different level of consciousness. We kind of navigate that all day long. You know, where your mind goes, you start to entertain thought and feeling about that. It's a level of consciousness. But the one thing I like to work with people is to realize they have say-so over that. Because, you know, sometimes you can be of the mind where life just, the wind blows you and that's where you go. And the fact is, you know, you were gifted with this brilliant brain and heart to guide, you know, be the monitor of what you do and don't. And your brain guides your mind, and your mind can be down in the dumps, been there, or it can be elevated. And you have to say so. Life will push those buttons on that elevator. But as well, you want to become master of that. You want to become the one who authors what the heck's going on inside you. And, you know, here's one thing. We were born into a bag of tricks, right? We have a lineage, you know, we inherited. We were born into a family unit. There are a lot of belief systems there. So here you have this that family. All of that energetically comes along with you, the package. What you live or were born into, all these become your instructional manuals that are stored deep inside you. And that's what you're unknowing and I don't want to say you as in you, as I'm not doing it too. We all do this. It's called the human condition. We reference that as the gospel truth of our information. And we don't really, unless we're like this, we're in a community where we're seekers, we're looking to know more about ourselves. That's when you begin to look at, and mostly, that doesn't feel right, that's uncomfortable, I don't like where that's leading. Then you begin to investigate inside of yourself to see what is the source of that. The source of that is a level of consciousness that you're ready to grow out of. So that's what I help people do. And you know, it's spirituality, right? Spiritual principles, 22 years, dedicated, not 24/7. Yeah. So I've done a lot, seen a lot with that, trained a lot of people, read a lot of people, clairvoyant readings. I trained that, did that. Healings, healing. Used to do tons of fairs and readings, and oh my God, that was my life. Radio shows. This was after I stopped dancing.
And so
I
that
love
is the other big part of this, is that you're a movement specialist with years and years of experience in movement and dance. And so, why do you think, Linda, that we who are all, if we look at all of our faces on the screen, we're what you term, which I love the term, sage agers. Why do we need to build a rapport with our bodies?
Yeah, because we have the rapport that we have unknowingly is with all that stuff that was hereditary about women, about aging, about what you should do, what you should think. All of it it's written inside you. It's like a little Bible in there, or what you had as life experience, were born into, what you saw, you do. That's how we learn in spirit, is by witnessing it being done, and then we take that on. More than words coming at us, like you speak to your kids, tell them what to do, and they just watch what you do. that's their information. So that is why the sage age. Sage being, well, I've learned a thing or two, right? You look back at your life and you say, I knew that then, would have been a lot better off. Or you can look back and with where you're at now and say, oh, I see what was going on then, and bring, wisdom bits forward to now. So I personally love the fact that I'm 69 years old, and I want to say it and love it, and I want everyone to do that, because if you're not, that's one of those things written into you that you're about. You hide you behind that. And personally, I want to see people just like, what are you interested in? What did you do? Like Muriel, that's Muriel. I'm telling your age, Muriel, 90, right? Came to me. My knees don't work. I can't dance. I'm very proud on a cane. I said, well, come with me. We'll strengthen below, we'll strengthen above, and we'll see. So she performed with me for, 5-6 years. Had her running all over the place. we did strengthen those legs. And she's still with me. So this is 9 years later. And, we've been through, she's awesome. The other day she goes, oh my God, my toes used to be nubs at the end of my feet. I loved it. And we're working real hard on, articulating the foot and getting feeling down there and pointing, because I have a ballet background. And that's the push power for your stride, is that walking through your foot. And I loved it because she doesn't say, oh, well, they used to be nubs. She's like, oh, my toes, they used to be nubs at the end of my feet. And I'm like, yes, hi, Muriel. She was like glowing because of that. So these little things, when you see somebody come into life, it's whatever it is, they love it. It sparks them, and they're happy. Like I have several of my long-term, lovables here. I used to call them the lovely ladies. I still do. And you just see when they are shining through their body instead of veiled in inhibition. So sage age, a thing or two, but there's still some sage wisdom to learn. And so that's like, okay, take it from here. And I really like the idea of investigating this kind of the questions that Susan asked. okay, we're at this chapter in life. It's really an awesome chapter, but are you looking at it as old age and it's hell to get old? Look, there's a little bit of energy on that. And that's the stuff we want to go in and move aside so you can, like, kick up your heels, give somebody you know, a razz, just really exhibit yourself through your body, through your heart, come alive. That's why I do what I do. Now, you can be as alive as hell in a body that's sitting around, can't move. So therefore, there comes my ballet training. And what I love about ballet is, I know when you think of ballet, you think of rang jeté, the splits in the air and you're sailing through. You think of high extensions. You think of whipping out a bunch of turns. No, how did they get there? They started with these basic things. Starts from the feet, it works up. Those are the very things we need right now to have strong hips. So we got some padding, we got some, excuse my French, as my mother would say, ass padding in case we fall. You want to build the muscles of your booty, your hips, your belly. It's support. It lifts the energy back through your body. Your foot on the floor. You're not just hanging out on your joints and stacking your bones in such a way so you don't tumble. You want to, it starts right down there at the foot. The foot has to be built strong. It goes right up. How to use the articulation of the ankle and the knee, and the thigh strength, the butt strength, the hip strength, so the knees are protected. So there's a lot. Always, you get around this age, knee problems. Well, let's train the muscles to hold the bones in a little more elongated way. So that's where ballet comes in. And of course, we work the top half in a very graceful manner, how to use the arms, how to open the chest, how to hold the back. What does that allow? You get to have air in your lungs. You're not collapsed. You get to have room for your heart. Now, these words came from Muriel. My heart has more room when she learned to roll her shoulders back. Because she said she grew up in a family where everyone's posture was like this. Goes into the eyes and you imitate unknowingly. And you say, it's hereditary in my family. The missing information is what's being handed down. And a lot of these things can be re-sculpted essentially. So that's why I do what I do. And not only that, so life is like, life, buttons pushed, life, button pushed. Buttons are that stuff inside you that gets ignited, and that can be just walking by somebody. Their energy gets that ignited. Interaction with them gets ignited. You turn the wrong news station on, you're ignited. Those whatever is going on inside you. And how do you, get back in to your correct, resonant frame of mind that keeps you whole? I'm not saying ignore the world. Yeah, it's going on. But you don't have to vibrate at what it's doing. No, because you have the ability to navigate away from that vibration frequency. That sounds like weird talk. I have this one thing to say. People say, oh, that's woo. I'm not into woo. Let me remind you one thing. You haven't had one thought or broad idea that wasn't from woo. It's from energy. It's coming from mind. It is what happens. And so somebody who doesn't want to listen to what happens says, that's pshaw. I don't want to listen. So they're not really getting savvy about how the mind actually works. Now, who's savvy? The news, marketing, all they're very savvy about how the mind works, how to push your buttons, and how to kind of direct you in directions. Anyway, so I'm all over the place. Let's pull back to us in our bodies and the rapport that we have and how we feel about ourselves. And willingness to step in and just like, I'm going to build a new and better body, being agreement with my body and be its best buddy. I like tongue twisters. Anyway, so that's some of it. Around the block a couple times.
I really, one of the things that I really, really responded to and resonated with immediately with you is how you bring everything together. It truly is holistic, body, mind, spirit, but so often we kind of get focused on the disconnected parts. Oh yes, I'm going to go join a gym and I'm going to get my body in shape, or, oh, I'm going to eat a certain way so that I can be healthy. And it's separate from our mind and our spirit. And what I really, really liked about how you approach things is that you do tie it all together. And just like you said, I wrote this down. When we dance or get connected with our body through movement like dance, that it allows us to shine through our body. I mean, that's lovely. Here we are, these spiritual beings, these energetic beings in a shell of a body that maybe isn't what it looked like or felt like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Doesn't look or feel the same. But we know that that light in there is the same as it always was, and sometimes getting brighter and brighter as we get older. And how cool for that to shine through that shell if we know how to let it do that. And so that like little girl Susie, I love to dance. I really, really do. And it's not, for me, it wasn't the recitals, although that was fun, getting all dressed up in costumes and performing on stage. That was fun, but that wasn't why I loved to do it. The music, I love the music, yes. And that, I think, is one of the things that is really amazing about us as human beings, is that we can integrate music and art and costumes and dance and movement and all this stuff. It's all connected. It is holistic, which it shows up in the name of your business. And that's another thing that we can incorporate into this thing we are, this person, this human that we are, is business. I mean, we can do that. Why not? We can be in business. We can be entrepreneurs. We can do this. And it can be connected to all this other stuff that we love. So I got really, really excited when I met you, because it was like, oh, somebody sent me this wonderful person.
Two things there. One, so what I'm noticing, because I'm pulling my business together, is that, it's a very, your world is here because you're creating things. You're in your creative mind. And then you're having to learn maybe technologies or whatever platforms where you can put your stuff out. Okay. So that's if you're in the online world. And you become very disregarding of your body and its messages to get up and move it around. When that is done, and the work I do is not just the physical body, it's the mind part, you know. So you're more prepared in mind to get up and be efficient. If your platter is not stuffed like, oh gosh, I haven't eaten for months and I'm going to put everything on one platter now, that's how our minds get. And if we don't know how to clear that platter, sometimes there's a fear, if I do that, I won't remember. No, it's not very true. That's very untrue. Clearing that mental platter is so very important. So you can look in your mind, connected heart, connected mind, to see what is the one thing I need to do next. And you efficiently go do that. Because you're not trying to support all of this. 2, with dance, or with our body as our walk through life, which let's call it our dance through life. You want to flow through life. You want to literally be able to walk step to step without having to calculate balance on every step. That is like not the way it happens. You have to keep course correcting your walk when you're in motion. So my thing about dance and expression through the body, you want a well-tuned, well-fit body. So that's all taken care of. So you can express through it, your heart through it. If all your energy goes all day long on managing your pills, your diet, you got to get these things done, and you're looking at it from that frame. First of all, you didn't prepare it in energy first. That's where I focus. All your time's taken up on mundane, mind-numbing tasks. Where's your human spirit? Where's your heart? Even with that, you can bring heart into it, But the whole thing here, dance, the expression of dance, a well-tuned body, a well-fit body, where you can express the loveliness of your heart through. Life should be like that as well. Your walk through life should be like that. Exactly. You have to move your body through life. You have awesome things to do. You've got lots of time left to do it. And you want the body to be working with you as your buddy and you its buddy to do that. You don't want to walk in a debilitated state. So, yeah.
Oh. Why don't we do something? Why don't we move these bodies and get a taste of how you do this with people? The lucky people who are here that are your ladies know what you do and how you do it, but the rest of us don't. So what have you got in store for us?
I love, I have to make a comment about one of our ladies here, Louise, who's known me for a long time. And when I would have my ladies at this, I worked at the senior center, we had this big room to work in, and I'd be doing choreographies, and Louise would look at me and I'd be like this, and she would go, oh, she's got that look. So she knew I was in my mind here, I'm creating something. So, got that look. So what I would like to know, ladies, is mic's open, conversation. What's going on with your bodies? Where are your areas of concern? Let's see if we can incorporate them into the dance of life. So pop them open.
Everybody take yourself off mute and let us know if there's some particular area of concern to you right now, today.
You want us to talk?
Yes.
Yes, I want to hear conversation.
For me, it's my tummy, and I think for a lot of women, it's our tummies.
So you don't have enough strength in your tummy, or you have a tummy?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Is it a area of strengthening your tummy, or the fact that you have a tummy?
Both, but I know that my belly muscles need to be strong.
Okay. So that's a really good one, because think of this. If you were a building, that wall would be like falling down.
That's right.
And that draws the energy up, the energy of passion up from the low part of your body. If you know chakras and all this, that is going to help the energy move up through your body, which puts the pink in your cheeks.
It's also where your immune system is in your gut, in case anybody didn't.
Yes, flowing through their energy.
80% of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Linda, Linda, we are looking at your picture. Did you want us to look at you or your picture?
You need to look at me. So here's what's happening, ladies. I'm talking, you hear me through my phone, but you're seeing me right now through my computer. And when I start to get up and move around, you'll be looking at me through my phone. I'll change over. I'll switch the things around. So yeah, I'm sorry if that's confusing. It's just the way I just kind of learn, how do I get this to work? And so
I
kind of
think if I put you, let me switch this. If I put you on speaker now, Linda, say something. I see Stephanie
Hello.
on my,
hello.
so I don't get the
Nope.
right
No.
camera.
Getting the person, getting just the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'll do for you. I'll do that. Wait a minute, that's that. We'll do this. Okay, now you got two of me. No, maybe I changed it.
Oh, you did well, because your sound is coming from where your mouth is moving.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That's the way my sound works, and I wanted to make sure I was charged up to teach. So what I want is not, let's not do the pick on the body part now, but Louise, chronic shoulder stuff, Sharon, knee, Muriel, always remember to keep her chest open. That's the girls. What else you guys got going on? Come on, please speak. I want some that I don't know, that I can step in and give you something to help you with what you might be experiencing. Difficulty walking across the room. Do you think of using your body, and where is it getting stuck? I know things are coming up because, hey, that's what starts to happen after age 30. So
I was in a really serious am I unmuted? Yeah.
Yes,
I
you're,
can hear you.
Serious car accident about 4 years ago, and the remnants, still remnants of the inside of my inner right thigh and the outside of my right hip, that where I still have pain, and not a lot of pain, but I can't do like the splits, or I don't have the what's the word I want, the mobility in it that I have in my left hip.
And that would be something we would address laying down. So I don't want to leave you out, but
No, it's okay. You just had asked.
strength, and that's very good. But also it lets you know that we do lay down work. In fact, a lot of classes, you're laying on your bed, you're laying on the floor. Yay! Are you holding on to kitchen cupboard, cabinet? Anyone else? I am amazed at the perfect individuals in front of me. Come on, fess up. What's going on?
Well, you know that I have a weak side and a strong side.
Yes. But and I work with
Sounds like
you about it.
Stephanie has that problem in a way too.
Yeah. Maybe I guess what I'm going for is some upper body stuff. Anybody got it? Yeah. Okay. What's up with you, Susan?
I find that when it is especially a problem when I'm on my computer all day and into a project. At night, I'm like right here is really tender. I mean, it's sore. It's like tender and sore. And I know that I probably am slumping when I'm on my computer. I don't really have the awareness of what I'm doing because I'm focused on what I'm working on. So I probably got horrible posture, but whatever, I need to relieve that.
Okay. So can anybody else relate to this? Being on devices, being on computers, you know, okay. So we're going to work with this. Okay. So this means I'm going to be reorienting myself. I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to stand up. I ask that you all stand up. Find some way to be on camera because that's how I can see you.
Okay, can you see us? Because I put you on speaker view so that we'll be able to see you big. And I'll be able to
Yeah.
record you big. But can you see us okay?
I see the gallery. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm in a really tiny spot here.
Well, I will, you know, we've been up against this. So I'll let you know a little of, I'll let you peek into my life. So I just moved into a place where I actually have an office. I lived in 174 square feet for 10 years. That's a 24-foot long trailer, 8 feet wide. I had to teach from my bed in the lay down mode. My stand-up mode was about 3 feet wide, 3 to 4 feet, no, 3 feet wide. And I had maybe 3-4 feet forward. So I get you. I hear you. I know how to teach in any situation. Okay. So now there's always a thing, can you see me? You can't see my feet. Get this over here where we're used to having it. So we're going to work our upper bodies. And I'm just encouraging you to, it's not good either. Okay. There we go. Let's try this. Okay, so we're dealing with, so seeing that she's talking about right here. One of the most lovely ways that you can start to, if you have a neck ache, if your neck is out, if it's messed up from sleeping, and the first tendency will be to not use it. And that's very backwards, but it's how you use it. So what we're going to do is a shoulder shrug. You're simply going to hike your shoulders up and you're going to hold them to the point where you almost shake. And then you're going to drop them down, boom. Now, when you drop them down, when you squish them up, it was a blood deficit. When you drop them down and they got to relax, they went open and it was a blood flush. So we're going to do it again. Everyone together, 2, 3, you can still breathe. 4, drop them down. Let that kind of, let that settle. You might feel the oxygen in your head, your equilibrium is a little shaken. Open your feet a little more. And you're going to hike your shoulders. 2, make sure you're breathing. 3, 4, and down. That flush of blood goes through. And 1 more. Hike. 2, shake. 3, 4, and down. Just let it flush. Let your equilibrium come back. Let your body settle down. We're going to breathe together. So breathing tendency is to only breathe here. Keeps you alive. It's where you breathe when you're afraid and are in shock, but we're going to draw the belly out as we draw the air in simultaneous. It will help to pull it like bellows. So let's take a small breath and a squish, like somebody punched you in the belly. And you're going to breathe belly out. Breathe all the way down and then let that out. And just kind of relax. Just, and we're going to do it again. Squish your air out and breathe. All the way down here. This is very good for the tummy. And out, push the tummy out. Kicks in with the diaphragm. And breathe 1 more. And out. Now just get normal. Breathe again. Let yourself sway. Let yourself sway. So, people, like I was the kid that would never sit still and I was always swaying. I was in motion all the time. But let yourself do this. People are afraid of this. I ask people to do this in my classes and they're reluctant. Think of that as a mental cast wrapped around your body energetically, inhibiting you from doing that. You want that gone. Maybe it's embarrassing to be a little slouchy and weird. Somebody might see you. Believe me, they're more concerned with how they look. But what you're doing is you're breaking up energy in your body. The fact that you don't do this all the time, right? And we sit and we stay in these stationary movements, the body gets kind of set with gravity pushing down and things get squished. So think of the arms attached to the shoulders and you're always got a bit of tension. Life gives you that. And you never get this room. What is that doing here? It is pushing the nerves in the joint. The muscles are short, so the nerves woven through them are all being strangled. And we wonder why we can't feel our fingers. So we're going to do a little exercise for that. So we want to get a little bit of loosening where this is at. Pretend somebody's so drunk. So all those little connections, we want to get a little more flexibility. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend our arm to the side without leaning. Try to stand up. Now, we're going to take a breath down to the belly, and we're going to reach real hard without leaning. So reach, reach, reach. You're going to feel it in your nerves. Reach and let that air out. Keep reaching. Good. If you need to rest your arm because you haven't been like that for a while, go ahead. Breathe deep. Let's do it again. Arms out. This time we're going to take our breath and watch me first. We're going to roll the arm forward so the shoulder goes forward. And we're spiraling this muscles all the way down. We can actually hold the teacup here. And so we're going to do that. So let yourself settle. Breathe. Let the air out. Breathe again. And begin to roll that arm forward. So it's all about spiraling from this joint as much as you can. And you're in charge of you, so you're not going to hurt yourself. You can let your shoulder forward. Your air can come out. Don't hold your breath. And then breathe yourself back to your starting point. Bring back down because you don't do this all the time. Let yourself settle. When you do anything, just stir stuff up. Get used to what it's like to bring yourself back to equilibrium. We're going to do it again. So you're going to breathe. The arm is swept out to the side. Let the air out. These breaths are starting down here and up here. Now we're going to roll this arm backwards. So I watch. I'm rolling backwards. So I'm spiraling muscle laterally all the way down my arm. And it's strong. I'm not doing it in a wimpy way. Strong, but I'm breathing as well. Maybe another breath. And then bring it back to where you started. Just let your two arms hang. If you need to broaden your stance with your feet, go ahead. If you need to wiggle to kind of get your energy around your entire body, go for it. But I'd like you to feel now your two sides. So the one side you just worked and the side you didn't. And notice how they feel. Do you have more awareness of one side over the other? Does one arm feel longer than the other? That can happen when we do these exercises. Not necessarily happening, but it might, because you created some space in your joint. We're going to do the other side. So give yourself a little broader stance. Breathe and lift the arm. And we're going to take a breath and we're going to reach. So I'm reaching, making space in all my joints as I'm reaching, but not leaning. letting your air go in and out. Feel the tingle. You'll feel your nerve tingle because you're making space. You're aggravating the nerves in a sense, making space. And then bring it down. Because you don't do it all the time. We're going to do it again. This one will be the forward roll. So breathe, arm open. And we're going to start rolling the upper arm forward. The shoulder will come with it. We're going as far as we can. And it's firm. You're using your muscles. You're working as much as you can with a straight arm. And you're breathing. And out. And then let it come back to the starting point. Let it come down. Feel if you're stirring up your brain, a little like lightheaded. Put your attention on your feet. Bring your energy back down into your body, into your belly. Take a breath that's down here. We're going to do it again. This will be the backward roll, so breathe. Backward roll. So you're breathing, rolling back as much as you can, spiraling this muscle. Back, back, back. Breathe in. And now bring it back from your starting point. And down. Make sure you're breathing. So breathing is one of the things I train people to do because we don't naturally breathe only when we're babies like that. And we lose it by the time we're 2. So feel both sides of your body. If you feel a little bit lightheaded, so when you make more space up here, there's more ability for the blood to flow in and oxygen into your brain. So any of this next stuff that goes on, you're getting a blood, oxygen, nerve sort of deficit going on. So you want to keep these basically conditioned and open and flexible. I'd like you to feel those 2 sides. Notice your arms. Maybe you notice them where you didn't. We're going to do one other thing. And this is kind of showing, what we tend to do is we tend to reach forward with our heads. So think of this. If your spine were a straw, you're a straw, right? And if you bend it, and it doesn't have, like those flexible straws, it doesn't have that. You're just going to crimp it. This is what's happening when you're in your forward extension. So what's happening is the brain isn't getting the goods. So what we're going to do, just to bring awareness to the fact that we do that, is we're going to be chickens. And we're going to stand as straight as we know how. And we're going to chicken pluck and bob your head forward. Peck forward and then pull straight back. Chin will be in a downward slope. So you're pulling back the neck so it's more stacked upon the spine like you're straightening that straw. Let's do that again. Forward, draw back, and feel like the top of your head gets taller. Now, it takes the muscles a bit to catch on to what the heck you want from that. We're going to do it again. Forward, draw back, get super tall. Do you feel how you might be working these muscles? Forward, draw back, super tall. And just relax. Let's just kind of move, sway, move something you don't move. Move something that sits around and doesn't ever get to move. Feel a little silly. Move in such ways. I have one student, the guy, and he's like, oh, this reminds me of the balloon character in the bank parking lot where they just opened. And he's like flipping around like this. It's very good. So do it. Don't be afraid of it. So a couple things about what we just did. Well, again, if the neck's always forward, you're stopping blood flow, you're going to create tension. These muscles here are getting long. They're getting long. These muscles here are getting contracted and short. So it makes it like, no, I can't do that. Well, that is not a truth, because we just need to begin to get some oxygen and blood flowing through you and begin to slowly, ever so gently open up this posture. Okay, so I guess I'm pinned to the screen. Yeah. Now, if I were working with you for a long period of time, the big thing to straighten out is the military stance, which goes like that with the shoulders, and it minimizes the space between them. So that V in there between these shoulders, we want it broad, broad, not minimized. Can you see how minimizing that encourages that? And we want this in the body, and tummy would draw up as the front. Well, that's what you're working on. This is your front wall, right, to hold this floor up. So these are kind of some of the things we do in class. So we work, I love to work with people, what's going on with you today? And then I'm like, okay, the class is all about that. We work on that. How's that going for you? Oh, it's much better. Showing the response. I like that. And then I try to take that thing into moving around with that thing. So we're going to do that. So we kind of softened, loosened up the body here, here. Might feel a little looser. See if you can do some shoulder rolls. Shoulder roll. How does that move for you? Do it with the easy way. Let's do forwards. Very good. I'm just going to bring looseness in. Yeah. Okay. And just let your body stand. Stand on your 2 feet. Notice if in your standing, if your weight is over the balls of your feet, in the middle of your arch, or back a little bit into your heels, where the thighs have to activate as they move up, wrapping around into the hip and buttocks. And you got to use your belly or else you can fall over. So where you carry your weight as you walk is vitally important, because as well, it plays into the push power you get from your hip and your stride. That is a big course piece in itself, but we work on such things. What I want to do for us is use maybe some openness that we created. Just show of hands, because I can see you on my monitor here. Does anybody feel a little more flexible up here? We did very little work. Okay, my regulars do. Susan does. Oh yeah, everybody, super. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate the bottom half of us. We're going to open our legs, step side, and then we're going to bring this foot together. So this is just stepping together, not stop, right? Step down. We're just transferring weight, the ability to transfer weight, get to balance in that transfer. And we're transferring. That's what we're going to do. And it isn't, we're not going to bring this kind of stuff in. Okay? So it's just the side to side motion. Now we're going to time it with an upper body choreography. Not difficult. Start your hands here. Here. When you step open, open your arms. When you step close, close your arms. And open and close. And open. See if you can open to a straighter arm close. And open. See if your shoulders stay in place. And open and close. And open and close. And open. Pull that belly up. Let your front scaffolding. Pull your neck back. Open and close. Rest that. We're going to add a piece to that. The piece will be on the bottom half. Open, close, put that foot back and come back together. Open, close, put the foot back, come together. When in question of what foot goes back, it's the one you just closed. Step, I'm closing that leg in. I'm going to move it back and together. Step, closing that leg in. No, I got to get off of it, so don't put your weight fully on it. Back and together with me. Open, close, back, together, open, close, back, together. Up, again, open, close, back, together, open, close, back, together. Okay, bottom half, got it. I can see you're all doing it. Now what we're gonna do is join in the top half. Top half will open as we step on. It will close as we bring them together. It will open up here in a V, high arms, and then it will close back here as we come together. So that when you're all together, everything's in. Open, close, open, the arms, close, open and close, open and close. You gotta push off that foot. Open and close, belly's up, thumb and back of neck, pull back, open and close, thumb, thumb, deep. Cool, shake that out. So really move your body. So when you get deeper into your training, you begin to learn that you are really learning to hold this upper carriage. That this and this work together. One rolls back, pulls down, the other is coming up. You really begin to feel the flexion of these muscles, side wrapping around back. When you use your arms, you build this stable, you will, as you work, build this stable area. And when you use these arms, they are moving from this stability. And that's what we train into bodies to develop the muscles of carriage, just a little piece of it, so that they begin to kick into gear as you're just walking around. So you're creating like new go-to pathways and placements and postures for yourself that, like my students tell me, that they check themselves out and they go, whoops, I'm always recalibrating throughout my day. And you may also hear my voice in your head,
Yeah.
which I hear often. Anyway, okay, shake that out. Let's go ahead. Thank you. That's just a little sample. It's like a, man, that was abbreviated. There's the breathing that you really, I help you master, because breathing is the bomb. It is the undoing that we need. We know how to tense up. We don't know when we're tensed up.
Oops.
We need to be able to relax, let down in a moment's notice. And so I train that. That is the two sides that we're constantly going back and forth through. Okay, onward.
That was wonderful. And what I would, let me put this back on gallery there. We don't have a ton of time left, but we have enough that you can share with all of us, especially us newbies, how we can do more of this, because I know that felt really good. But for me, I need more.
Oh, for
And
sure.
I need to do this at least a few times a week. Otherwise I fall back into the old patterns. So what do you recommend? What do you have in store for us?
So I teach a class 3 times a week, and it's called, well, it it's transitioning its name, Holistic Body Movement. That will give you an idea. It's going to be balanced body movement. It is about, it's dedicated time, truly. We're trying to offset this lifelong deficit. So we invest like a couple hours in class 3 times a week. And these ladies that ladies, raise your hands that, yeah, do that. Okay. They've been with me for like 9 years. And we've seen ourselves through some stuff. Cancer, pacemakers. And oddly enough, even COVID, come into class because you get to lay down. And even if you come and only breathe, the breathing session starts out with a guided meditation, a time, bring, like, I'm going through this. You bring it to class, we do some healing, release work. We just reset our energy. Then we go into some gentle warming waking motion. And then we go into some opening or strengthening motion. Then we get up and we use it in similar ways to what we just did. This is called Balanced Body Movement class, offered 3 times a week. You can come to 1, 2, you could come to 3. So that's available. And as well, I'm going to start. It's called Easy Ballet for Sage Age Women. So yeah, this is like, yes. Okay. I have to tell you, I grew up in a house of chaos, a quiet chaos, silent chaos. You can feel the pressure of it. And the one place I could go, and I realized this, I would go to my ballet class daily. And I could relax. My heart would open and I was just loving. I was arrogant enough to believe that nobody could love ballet as much as me. And when I danced, and so I started young, the company members would say, when you dance, something about you. And truly, this is it. I was like loving, deliberately knowing that I was loving, like I could feel the energy of it. And to the point where that's very vata, very airy. Sometimes I'd fall over, lose my balance. I was just so into the. So anyway, easy ballet, but what we're going to get the grace and charm, the upper body working, but we're going to get that bottom half super strong. And these ladies, especially Muriel and Louise, have been working on that piece. They were my performers in the little company I had. So these are 2 options. Ballet will be on Thursdays, 1:30 to 3. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to noon. You're getting your meditation in. You need it. Your distressing session that you avoid 3 times a week. And then you're working and building your body and you're learning about breathing. That's how it got. Sharon's like, I got through that pancreatitis because of breathing. Muriel, like, when my lung was punctured, because I knew how to breathe past that point, I could hang in there until the paramedics got me, So this is like, this is life stuff. This is life benefit stuff. Anyway, that's available to you. And we should just mail the stuff out. Is that the way to go, Susan?
Yes, I will include it in the follow-up email that I generally send out by Monday. And we will also, there's this list of people who that put into the chat that'll be in there as well. And by the time that email goes out, you will have a link, there will be a link that will go to your website, which will have a way to sign up for these classes. And Linda has graciously, amazingly offered us, the co-creation community people, an incredible package to do both classes together or to do one or the other. So I can't wait for you to see that, and we'll get all that in front of you, including those people who had to leave early. Everybody sent me nice notes and said they can't wait to see the replay. So I'll be sending that out as well, the recording, and to the rest of the list of people who were not able to come. So it's been wonderful. I have enjoyed this a lot. I was looking forward to it incredibly. It was wonderful to meet all of the people who Linda brought, Sharon and Muriel and Susan and Louise. It's been great having you. And of course, Stephanie, I love seeing you every time.
Oh, teacher, I got something to say.
Yay.
Emma, so I want to do this for Stephanie and every other woman in the room here. I want to give her a tummy thing. Okay, this is quick. You can like put the fade out music to this one if you like. So what you're doing, everybody, just sitting there. That's your what we're. Look at mine, right? So I got tons of
just
muscle
mine.
back there, though. So let it all hang out. Open your legs some. And what you're going to do is you're going to scoop your belly in and up towards your ribs. Ready, go. And hold it. 2, 3, 4. Now let that sucker drop. Boom. Sorry about that. My mother was a truck driver. Breathe. Draw up. 2, 3, 4. Let it drop. Boom. Breathe. Draw it up. And hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it drop. Let your air really come out. Notice it once, 2 more. And breathe. Draw up. 2, 3, 4. Let it drop. Boom. Okay. So, Stephanie, once a day for 3 days. After that, twice a day. And then send Susan an email if you don't reach out to me and tell her what you're noticing.
You're telling me to do it, am I on 2 or 3 times a day?
I'm telling you, start with once a day. I want you to notice what one time a day doing something of something, one time a day will do for you.
Okay.
That's how I rebuilt my body. I didn't even get to tell the story that I was a dancer, but then by age 50, I got on the floor and couldn't get up.
Wow.
And my back was always out, and how I healed that, how I learned how to get past that. I have a back relief pain program. But yeah, and we do a lot of those exercises in class.
I can do.
So yes, that's it, Susan. I'll shut up now.
That's great. I needed that tummy one too, because my tummy looks just like yours. So, I think it comes from having children and other assorted things throughout our lives, which I would never give
Trader
up.
Joe's keeps putting out special sweets. Damn it. I don't know.
Like what you did for your birthday. I couldn't believe you had donuts. Which I thought was great. I don't like donuts, but I'm glad you like them and that you had them for your birthday.
Was the experience of the pink box place. I wanted to go there to see how they displayed it. I'm a display artist, so that's what I want to see, the display.
I hear you. Paris is a display artist's paradise. Everything in Paris is beautifully displayed. I mean, you don't even have to eat stuff. You just feast for the eyes constantly.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
As long as you never touch. That's the key. In France, you never touch anything. You always ask to be shown. That's a French etiquette tip.
Thank you.
That's for another time. So I want to thank you for joining us, all of you. And a huge thank you to you, Linda. This has been wonderful.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see,
Love it.
hopefully I'll see you all next month with another special guest. We'll share something awesome about their creative and meaningful life, and that's sure to inspire you to enhance your own life, your purpose-based business, and how you approach your own creative expressions. So be prepared to be inspired, motivated, uplifted as we co-create, communicate, and ignite positive change together in conversation. Okay? Bye,
Thank you.
everybody. Thanks again.
Hi, Stephanie.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Talk with you. Yeah. All right. Care.